Y'all know what time of year it is. That's right. It's not time to fish a Whopper plopper, but that's what we're going to talk about. Alright guys, so the Whopper plopper, popular bait. I mean, everybody in bass fishing pretty much knows what a Whopper plopper is, right? Everyone's throwing them. Got a hard body, actually more like a spook body, I guess. Looks more like a spook or a walking bait. Then you got the little paddle tail on the back. And so what you do is you throw it out there, you reel it in, and that paddle tail spins. And it goes plop, 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 plop. And it's a Whopper plopper, right? Plops, plop, plop, plop. And it's a top water bait. So you throw it out there and it's on top of the water, plop, 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 plop. Fish blows up on it, boom, you got a big one, right? So this bait, now, like I said, it's become very popular, but I personally do not fish this bait hardly at all. I only have one of them, which is the Whopper plopper 90 size, which is a little bit smaller. I think the average size is the 120, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but I believe the more average size you'd say is the 120. This is the 90, so it's a little bit smaller. Great for like spotted bass and smallmouth bass, they say. And I'm not sure the color. I don't think it says on here. I'm not sure, but this one here, I got in a mystery tackle box. This is the only one I own, and I got it in a mystery tackle box. If it wasn't for the mystery tackle box, I probably would never have bought a Whopper plopper. Just because they're pretty expensive. I think they're like $16.99, something like that. Maybe $12.99 now, but like for a while I think like they're like $16.99. So when they first became popular, mystery tackle box put the smaller one here because the bigger ones are so expensive. Put the smaller one in the mystery tackle box, and so I've got to try it out. I haven't caught a fish on it. Now, I haven't fished it enough to catch fish on it. You know, for me to put time into a bait to actually catch fish, depending on the bait, probably be like a good hour of fishing in the right conditions. The right conditions, a good hour of fishing is how long I would give a bait time to catch fish for me. A normal bait, so like the Whopper plopper, like some kind of soft plastic, I'd give it an hour of prime time fishing, right? So if I know right where the fish should be at, I know they should be eating, I know we should catch them, and I throw that bait around and they're not hitting it, and I fish, and I'm fishing and I'm fishing, they're not hitting it, I'd give it half an hour or an hour, and then you switch up a bait, throw in there, and boom, you catch a fish. Or you're fishing with it and your buddy next to you is catching fish and you're not. That's when I know that a bait's not good. Now this bait, I've not done that with this bait. I have probably only fished this bait for probably maybe 20 or 30 minutes is probably the max that I've actually fished this bait. And probably more like 30 minutes, I guess. But I've only fished it for a few minutes at a time. Like I've tied it on, fished it around one area for 10-15 minutes probably, and then haven't fished it. And I've probably thrown it for like 5 to 10 casts in other spots. I haven't fished it. So I haven't like got there where I know they're going to be hitting top water, like, early morning, like a summer early morning when there's bass busting and I go and I'm throwing it. I haven't done that yet. And it's been a couple years actually, so I don't know if I will do that. I kind of want to do it more this year, but I just haven't thrown it. I'm not one of those guys that throws what everyone else is throwing. Just because it's the most popular way to do it or the most popular lure, I don't do it. I throw what I catch fish on. I throw frogs, because I love fishing frogs. I love catching fish on frogs, and it works. Jigs, because I love fishing jigs, and I catch a lot of fish on jigs. And then spinner baits. Those are like my 3 top baits. Of course, I do fish crank baits. I do fish other baits as well, chatter baits, stuff like that. But, I mean, those 3 are the baits that I normally fish. And some kind of Texas rig, usually. Texas rig, plastic, right, or a little flipping bait. But I don't fish a lot of baits like this on, because I would rather be throwing a frog. The place in my home lake where I would throw this would be around the docks. Early summer morning, bass, blow up around the docks. You get them on top water. But I throw frogs around the docks just because I love fishing a frog. I could probably definitely throw this and get bit. I just really haven't. But early in the summer mornings, before the sun gets up, right when the sun's coming up, before it gets hot, before the sun really hits the water, in those shaded spots around the docks. Oh man, the fish are active, and that's how I caught my PB actually on a jig, swimming it during that time of day. And if I went and threw this around, I could definitely catch a fish. I just haven't done it. Because I would rather throw a jig, or I'd rather throw a frog. I'd rather throw something that I love fishing and that I have confidence fishing. It's hard for me to gain confidence in a new lure. It just is. Unless I go out and have a really awesome day, like the first time I throw it. Like there's been some lures in the mystery tackle box that I've went out and like the first few casts, the first few minutes, just had like an awesome day on it. Just like the first few minutes started smashing fish, or caught like a big fish on it, and then all of a sudden I have confidence, and all of a sudden that's a bait I fish. Whopper plopper, I just haven't done that. I'm sure I could do it, and then I would probably, if I went and did it, my worries is I could go and do it, but then I'm gonna be like everyone else and be a Whopper plopper fanatic, and go spend $100 buying a whole box of Whopper ploppers. And for me, I don't really need it because I have other ways that I catch fish. There's certain times that you could throw this over the other ways, but that's why I have one, right? Just in case. I always keep it with me just in case for some reason they won't hit anything else. I could try it, maybe get them to hit it. But that's kind of, that's the whole story of I don't really fish Whopper plopper. So the gear to throw this thing on, I would throw more of a crankbait style rod. Now depending on what size, because they do make like the bigger sizes, but more of probably like a medium to medium heavy moderate action rod would be probably the best rods. Something you could throw treble hooks in. Something really similar to like a square bill rod. That's what I would throw this on. Really similar to a square bill rod. I would throw personally monofilament on this. I would not throw fluorocarbon because fluorocarbon sinks. Now if you're going to constantly keep this bait moving, throw it out there, hold your tip high, keep the line off the water, constantly keep reeling, then there you go, this bait is going to be good for that with fluorocarbon. But if you're going to be pausing it, reeling it up and bring it by a stick or by the edge of a dock and pause it, that fluorocarbon, as soon as you pause it, as soon as that fluorocarbon gets on the water, it's going to sink. Then when you go to reel, it's going to pull that bait down. It's just not going to be right. So monofilament would be the recommended choice. Probably 15-pound mono. 15-pound line for me is just an all-around great line. No matter what I'm using, not like frogs, but as long as I'm not talking about like the big techniques, as long as I'm using your normal techniques, 15-pound like Texas rigs, some jigs, stuff like this, crankbaits, 15 pounds is going to be like all around. 15-pound mono for this. I wouldn't recommend braid because braided line gets wrapped around everything. When you try and throw treble hook baits like this, whether it be this or plopper, even crankbaits, the braided line just gets wrapped around the hooks, gets all twisted up around the hooks, and it's a nightmare. It's a pain in the butt. You can do it, but then you're going to have to deal with the braid getting wrapped around. So I'd recommend monofilament. For this here, because it's a topwater bait, a lot of people have, talk about the hook sets on topwaters and the way you should do it. You should wait, if you should set the hook right away. For me, with a treble hook bait like this, if I'm out there and I'm reeling it in and one blows up on it, there's two things I'm going to do. Either keep reeling the same speed, and then you feel the fish load up on it if he's there. The rod will bend over and you feel him load up, and at that point you got him hooked, then you can reel faster and start fighting the fish. Or stop. Simply stop. And then that fish will start pulling on it, and then you reel. Because what's going to happen is you're going to be going, he's going to blow up on it, and if you just keep reeling, he's going to have it, and you're going to load up. You're going to pull, and those treble hooks are going to load up into its mouth. And then once you feel them on there, you can reel faster to make sure that they get set, make sure they get past the barb. And then from there on, fight them, play them out, however you want to fight them. With the treble hooks, I'd play him out a little more, a little bit looser drag, kind of play him out so he doesn't throw those treble hooks, doesn't bend out a hook. And then the other way, like I said, is pause, throw it out there, and if one blows up on it, just pause it. Make sure he's got it. What you do not want to do is rip it away from him. The worst thing you can do is just jerk right when you see it, because if he missed that bait, if he came up and hit and went boom and missed it, or just came up to take a look, and then you pull it out of there, you just ruined your chance. Now, maybe you could cast over there on the next cast and have him come back. That's possible. But a lot of times, if he misses it and you just keep on that steady retrieve or pause it, and then and once you see he missed it, start reeling again, he'll come back for it. Especially like an active fish, like early in the morning, early summer morning, he's going to be actively feeding. Especially like if you're talking about like a 2-pounder, some fish that's going to be really active, really chasing around bait. And you're going to throw that, he'll miss it, and you keep going, he'll come back and hit it almost instantly afterwards. But if you rip it out of there, you can ruin your chances. And if you're just fun fishing, having a fun day, yeah, that's not going to hurt you too bad. But if you're in like a tournament situation, or say it was your PB, it ends up being like a 6, 7, 8 pound fish that blew up on it, that's your new PB, you just blew your chances there. Or like a tournament, like I said, tournament fish, and that's your kicker that you need. You get that in, you could win. Oh, if I would have landed that fish, if I would have hooked that fish, I would have won the tournament. That's gonna really come back to hurt you. So for me, just either stop it, make sure he's got it, or just a steady reel and he'll load up. But that's kind of it on the Whopper plopper. Now, thank you guys for watching. I actually am almost to 100 subs. I think I'm like 78, so kind of there, right? I'm over 50 subs, so over 50% of the way to 100. And I've been doing YouTube for a long time, actually, like 3 or 4 years. And I know it can seem like a long time for having such little subs, but I mean, I started out as, I think I was like 14 maybe when I started YouTube. And my room, I did it in my room like I am now, but my lighting was horrible. I have a light that I put up on my ceiling now, but the lighting was horrible. I just had one light up here above my head. And my room was basically dark. It still is dark behind me. But it was dark. The audio was actually okay. I used my phone to do it. I still use my phone, but it's a better phone now. I used my old iPhone 3 back then, or iPhone 4. The lighting was horrible. I was a noob, and I didn't know how to edit videos. But now, I'm getting better at editing. The lighting is better. The audio is good. The camera's decent. So my videos are getting better, and I'm trying to upload as much as I can, so you guys can have, to kind of create my channel, get as many views as I can. So I just got to say thank you guys for watching. If you're subscribed, thank you so much. And if you want to help me out, or if you like these videos, go ahead and subscribe and hit the little notification bell. If you want to watch more of my videos, if you hit the little bell that's right next to the subscription button, it will actually notify you. I get emails, but I don't get emails, but it notifies you on, if you have your notifications on the YouTube, it will notify you, and it will tell you that I uploaded a video, so every time I upload a video, you can watch it. So we're almost there, almost to 100. Hopefully by the end of this year, after this summer, we get there. My audio for fishing, when I'm out on actually fishing, has been horrible, because the camera I have is just like a knockoff little cheap action camera, like 50 bucks, I think it was, 50 or 60 bucks. Audio is not good. I've tried everything, tried to get it good, cannot get it good. But at least you get to see what's going on, and so I'm going to try to set up the tripod, at least when I'm in the boat. The bank, it's still not going to be that good probably, but on the boat, I'm going to try to set my tripod up like this and use my phone like now, so you'll kind of have this, how it is right now, but I'm going to set that in the boat, and so be able to see me fishing. Hopefully that's my plan this summer, to try and do that and see if it works out. So stay tuned, guys. We've got some trips this summer. We've got, some fishing coming up. So be sure, guys, to subscribe and hit that notification so you can see what's coming up. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.